and welcome back to Fashion Attack. Today we are gonna build one of my absolute favorite chairs ever. This one. It's called the ROLY POLY, and only from the name you can understand, because I'm so childish, how much I love this piece. And it goes on the market between $600 to $16,000. It's like crazy. And we are gonna remake it just with a yoga ball and some old pipes. Here you can see all the equipment that we need, but you're also gonna have it in the description box so that you can understand the sizes, the measurements, how much material. Plus this super secret material that is gonna make our dream chair come true. First step of all is building the legs. I just placed them more or less how I think they should go on the chair, but we're gonna measure it placing the ball on top. And then with a marker, I'm gonna trace the curved shape where the ball is gonna fit inside. What do I mean? The ball, as you can see, is rounded. So we're gonna have to create a curve on the legs, so on the pipes, in order to make it fit perfectly. Here we go. Step number one is place the ball on top and start following the same roundness of the ball to make the shape on the first pipe. We're gonna do one pipe, and then to do the second one identical, we just start twirling the pipe so that you can copy it on the other side. And there you go, two identical legs. For the back one instead, I had to place the ball on the table because I couldn't stand up for such a drastic curve, and then you do the same thing to follow on the other leg. Basically, what we tried to do is to make the same exact shape of the curve of the ball on the back. The one on the bottom are going to be placed basically in the middle, just a little bit more to the left, compared to the center of the ball. But the back, I wanted to hold the back of the chair up. So I'm going to place it more external possible. That's why the curve on the pipe of the back is going to be way more extreme than the one in the front. And you see, it follows the same shape of the curve of the ball. You can totally do this process also with a hand saw. It's gonna take you like 40 minutes, but it obviously takes like 2-3 minutes if you use the jigsaw. Way much time savior. You do it on all 4 of the legs and you're done. Whoops! We're ready to test it. The front legs are actually perfect. I don't know how I guessed this right at the first shot, but the back leg is gonna go like here, very external, still has too much curve over here. So all we're gonna do is make the curve a little bit more steep, and that should work out. Yes! And it works perfectly. Okay, we got it. Now, the height of the back is 64. So we're just gonna mark on the top here to where we want to arrive. So also here, we are just gonna draw the shape around it. This might look like nothing, but I swear you basically did the entire shape for your chair. All you have to do now is create the external shape that is gonna be created on top of our structure. And that's our secret ingredient. Guys, I can guarantee you I spent so much time thinking of alternatives on how to build this chair. Because how many bottles do you think I have to melt to have 6 liters of plastic?
Nicole!
Oh, sorry, I was thinking. But the truth is that the original one is made of fiberglass. So why did I even lose so much time thinking about how to make it in plastic or complicated ways? I just watched about tons of videos of how they fixed boats and surfboards, because that's what this is usually used for. Very simple. You just need gloves, a mask, and get ready to get dirty with it. There we go. First step is put 2 gloves. Not 2 gloves in total, 2 gloves for each hand, because it's gonna burn so much if you don't. Then you start shaking the polyester. That's what we bought. You could do it with resin, but this is way cheaper, and that's why I picked it. And you do for every 100 grams of polyester, 2 grams of hardener. You mix it up and you start using it. Second piece is the fiberglass. It's this sort of papers that you rip with your hands, and then you start wetting them with the liquid. Okay, let's go through what we are doing. This is the first layer that I attached, and as you can see, some parts are more white and sometimes some parts are completely transparent. We want them to become completely transparent, and that's why we're gonna have to add more liquid on top. But the point is that you do not want the edges straight like this. It's way better when you rip it with your hands, because it's gonna make the layer on top of the layer merge better together. Other thing, why in the world are we creating little teeny tiny cups instead of making it all in one shot? So the story is that once you create this incredible ingredient thingy, you have 5 minutes to work it. After that, you need to throw it away. So it's better to make little tiny batches and work with it, refill it, work with it, refill it, instead of making one whole thing, and then obviously you're not gonna finish this in 5 minutes. Starting from the top, put your first layer of fiberglass and then put on top all the liquid so that it becomes solid. Okay. I basically live in the middle of a desert, and there was a storm last night. Like, this happens 3 times a year, and we're full of water. That's why I had to go downstairs with a ball and let it dry. Now we have to find a solution to keep working. Day number 2. Okay, I decided that my plan is to take all the fiberglass out from the ball so that it becomes smaller and easier to work with. Then place it on top of the legs, and then I'm gonna go and add all the layers that I wanted to do exactly on the shape when it's already with the legs itself. This part went way easier than I thought. I just took out the air from the ball and ta-da! It popped out so easily. I thought I would have to like break the ball and sand it off. Instead, it's so easy. It went perfectly. Now we're gonna just add some silicone on the legs and place the ball exactly where it was before. Go downstairs, torment your lovely neighbor and ask him for some help to place it on top. They usually sell you like a very round ball made of metal that is to smooth out the silicone, but we all know that I'm super stingy, so the technique is this. This is literally the best life hack ever. You just dip your finger in the dish soap and then the silicone doesn't stick to your finger. You can smooth it out as much as you need. Once I was done with this, I realized that the chair was taller than I wanted. I really don't know how. It just grew. And the 64 centimeter of the back were actually way lower than where I drew them. So I made a new drawing with a pen and then started to place the new layer, the resistant one, so the second and the third layer only up to the new line that I drew, so that after you can go and cut. So you see, I'm placing it only up to the line, or better, the fiberglass goes on top, but the liquid that makes it solid, it's only up to the line. It's gonna make it much easier to cut it out later. Once you did this step 2, actually 3 times, I passed also to the legs. I'm gonna cut here the fiberglass in really tiny pieces, otherwise it's difficult to follow this curve, and then spread all over it the liquid, and it's gonna become super stable. You do this 3 layers, maybe even 4 if you wanna feel more safe, and here we go. It's super resistant. It's super resistant. Time for some honest talking. I think we could totally call the chair done, but we all have a sort of corona weight situation going on. Yeah, no embarrassment in saying that I don't even fit in my clothes anymore, and what I did fit in is already covered in glue. I have some glue. And even though I'm the first one to say body positivity, go wear whatever you want, who cares about that weight? But when it comes to chairs, I would say that we have to play it safe. So I'm gonna go and add 2 more layers, especially between the connection between the chair and the legs, and on the top where your butt is sitting down, so that we're not gonna risk our lives. Everybody is beautiful, but let's keep it safe. So the genius lady in the store gave me these things that are like carbon threads. It's supposed to make it 20 million times stronger, and we're gonna use it just as a few X's on the center of the chair and as a connection over here. Number 3, we are finally at the end of this mission. The chair looks already so cool, like I can't wait to sit on it. All there's left to do is go and trim out all the parts that are outside the marker that we drew before, and then sand it a little bit and then paint it. Biggest mistake that I did in this DIY was underestimating the fiberglass. Guys, even where I passed only one layer, it was super hard to cut it out. So be careful not to pass extra layers in the section that you do not want to be on the chair. Otherwise, it's gonna take you forever to take it out. Now, if you did a good job in making it smooth and nice, you can do this just by hand. But if you're a disaster, as I am, you're gonna have to buy a sander in order to make this smooth. Time for painting. Okay guys, the chair is done and I'm excited to levels that you don't even understand. I think this is the most challenging thing I did in my life. Before going and showing you the chair that is drying right now, let's go through the things that I would have done differently. Step 1, wherever the liquid falls, the fiberglass becomes solid, like so solid. So be careful and don't put too much amount, otherwise you're gonna find yourself spending an infinite amount of time cutting away the extra pieces that you do not want and that are not making the shape. Step number 2, be patient. You have to go and sand as much as possible to make it smooth. The industry actually presses the fiberglass in between two metal parts so that it becomes super smooth and you don't have to sand it later. But because we're doing it with home equipment, we can't do this. So after that you made it perfect, just go and sand it and lose some time over it. Third thing, it's not going to change at all the final result of your chair, but this material stinks like crazy. So the option of doing your work outside and letting it dry inside is not an option at all. I suggest you to leave it out like even 3 days before you bring it indoor. And now that we went through all the steps, subscribe down below. Leave me a comment with what else you would like me to do, because I love to follow your ideas. Actually, girl, just left me a comment on Instagram about this mirror over here, and I just spent the night trying to figure out how to do it, and I'm totally gonna make it in the next episode.